Hello everybody, good afternoon. Welcome to James Street Cookery School. It's our last one actually for James Street, and we're on the hot skis tomorrow. And once again, we're going back to the chowder, same thing again, chowder with wheat and bread. Very simple. I think visit Belfast, this opportunity to do this here. And just to promote local suppliers, farmers, and other restaurateurs within Belfast. So at these very tricky times, to me, these are two of my really simple, unbelievably simple dishes. So what we're going to do today is a wee twist on a classic chowder. So start with all our fish is being donated by Ewing Seafood. And what we're using today is in the chowder is cod, choline, prawns, beautifully. We're doing a bit of a smoked pancetta or smoked bacon. That's from Peter Hahn. Of course, we've got the milk there. We're also using potato, fennel, but nobody doesn't want chowder. We're putting in this one here. We've got some onion leek, lemon, of course, a little bit of garlic and butter, beautiful, a little bit of flour. And we're using also, yesterday we used like a pesto type of dressing, but today I'm just using straight kelp, and that's from Rathmine Island. So they actually grew this here, so there's a new season kelp here, which is absolutely beautiful. Gives a lovely richness to it and flavour to it, and that just amazing flavour coming out of it. And David downstairs in James Street, we've used that quite a bit in our restaurant, so good. We've also got our capers as well. Classically, we can go into a chowder, but to me it works really, really well. Also, what we're going to do is the simplest of all wheat and bread recipes. All it is whole wheat flour, T55, or good quality, strong flour. Flour we use this from Leeds, and these flour merchants. We've got some buttermilk, bicarb, and honey with a pinch of salt. That's how easy it is. All the recipes are there. Just all we've done is just really adjusted the fish and what's available there and then. Sometimes we do mussels and clams. If you want to go to like American style, or add a sweet corn to it. If you want to go out a wee bit further, just put the sweet corn on a barbecue and char the outside of it, and then take the corn off the cob and put that into it. It gives it that smoky flavour and the sweetness to it as well. So first things first, what I want to do is I'm just going to bounce about a wee bit here. But what I've got here is a little bit of veg stock which I've already made, which you use fish stock if you want. We use veg stock, which is a carrot, or celery, or leek, or onion, lemon, star anise. And we've got the kitchen sink really. Even though it's a set recipe, we use this all the time. We sort of make it the night before, let it infuse, and we strain it off. So we really make gallons of this stuff all the time. And it just makes, I mean, not just water or something like that. But to me, it's all about building that flavour of stock into it. And we use that on a lot of things. Even our cream sauces, we use half veg stock, half cream to get the fat levels down. So what we're going to do first of all is I'm going to turn the heat on here now. I'm going to put a little bit of butter, unsalted butter in. And what I'm going to do is melt this down, add the pancetta to it, smoked bacon, and add it into it and let it caramelize off. Then after that, we'll start then adding our vegetables and adding our onions, our garlic. We'll add our flour, cook it out, our leeks as well. We'll sort of cook the flour a bit, and then we'll start adding the stock into it slowly. When that there is then cooking out, we're then going to make our wheaten. Now normally with the wheaten, you would do it in the loaf tin, and it would take around about 170, around about 40 minutes to cook. And if you want it like, I like my wheaten slightly dry, some people like it more moist, that's fine, and just bring it down by 5 minutes. But today, because of time, we're going to do like wee muffin tins, so really individual ones, and actually take really more than 12 minutes to cook at 170 as well. You know, so that's where we are there. So once again, there's our butter there, in with the smoked bacon, in that goes, and we're just going to gently cook that off. I'm just going to turn the temperature down now to a medium temperature, because one thing I don't want to do is burn the butter. So we're just getting that caramelized off, because we're working in induction, very quickly. So that's that working there. So at the moment now within Belfast, you've got so many restaurants, or not so many, all restaurants are closed. There's a few people do takeaway restaurants like Beans and Epic, and Shoe doing it now, and Haskey's ourselves, we do click and collect as well. You know, and that's on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we're extending that out with nice fancy cheese. He's doing an amazing cheese collection, Young Buck and all the rest of it, and black butter, and then he's doing a bit of sourdough as well, and a great combo. So the key thing is about supporting, and I keep on saying to everybody, it's about support your city. And that's what it's all about. So our bacon's are now cooked. I'm going to add in our onions and tacos. I'm going to put that out. I'm going to turn the temperature down again. You know, so think around about number, say you're up on 1 to 8. We're on about number 3 now. So we're trying to get that sweating down into the fennel. In that goes, brilliant. That's nicely sweating down now. Okay, do the business there. So, yeah, keep it in the pan like that. Next thing is then with our garlic, you can do it, pass you down to good, then just go to chop. And it goes, push it down. There we are, job done. Just one garlic. The recipe we're using, like the recipe on the website, really is going to do really like 5 to 6 people. And this one here varies with the 2 portions. So that there's nicely garlic, now cooking away there nicely. Once again, as you can see, we're putting it all at different levels. Give it a few seconds, then we'll have another one and cook them down. So in the leeks, already you can start smelling. You can smell the onions, you can smell the garlic, you can smell the bacon. And that's soaking up all the little fat from the bacon staying in there as well. And it's cooking the vegetables and cooking them down as well. Really clean, very nice. Beautiful. Right, next is some of the potatoes. Potatoes are in there. Cook that down. Beautiful. That's really, it's all starting to come together beautifully. There. In with the flour. Flour's in there. Rinse. And now I'm just going to cook the flour out. At this point here, I'm going to bring this really down very low. So I'm just going to turn this down. That's down there now. Brilliant. And I just want to cook the flour out now. At this point here, it's sort of like a roux. You're cooking your flour. And you don't want to go too fast at it, because if you go too fast and the heat's too high, being realistic, you're just going to burn the bottom of your pan. You're going to burn the chowder. So don't forget, this is a chowder. You're working with shellfish. It has to be very gentle. It has to be. You don't want anything too strong in there. You don't want to get the burnt flavour coming through. So try to do it nice and gently, and that's the key thing. And cook out your and turn it down right the very as low as it goes. So I'm cooking that out now. That's sitting in the part there. Very little flour. It doesn't take a lot of flour. So that's doing that. And what I'm going to do now is add a little bit of veg stuff into it. Just a tiny bit. Work it in. Brilliant. That's sitting in the part there. Great. And then I'll add a tiny bit more to it. And that goes. Let's cook. Let's get it going there. And let's work it in. So that's looking the part there. Great. So there we have it. It's all starting to come together now. Brilliant. Once again, I haven't had any seasoning yet. So, brilliant. I'm just going to let that cook out nice and gently. So that's doing the business there. So our stock is nearly all in there. There's the last bit in now. So our stock in. So just to recap, we had our butter in there. We brought up the heat. We added our smoked bacon pancetta. In that one, we caramelized it off. Then we added our onions in, our garlic in, our leeks in. We started getting all our vegetables in. We added the flour in. And just made sure everything's spread down. We cooked the flour out nice and slowly. At this point here now, we have got our stock in there. And once again, we're using veg stock. We want to use the fish stock, not a problem. And that there's now just cooking away. It'll start thickening up, because at the moment now it's pretty watery. So it is, it's pretty watery. But that's fine. As soon as the flour starts cooking out, you know, you'll start getting it. And once again, this here, I don't like it where it's too heavy. I want it slightly thinner, because a lot of time you get chowder, it's like a big bowl of stodge. To me, it has to be moist at the same time. It's like getting a bowl of pasta. You want pasta with there's sauce at the bottom, so you put the bread into and all the rest of it. You don't want this big heavy lump just in the middle of the bowl. So once again, that's our cooking nicely. And what I have to add to it later on is, after about another 5 minutes, I'm going to start adding my capers in and cooking it out. So in the meantime, where that's cooking out nice and gently, I'm going to get on with the bread. So in here, very simple. You've got your wholemeal flour and flour in that one. More wholemeal flour, and that goes. It's unbelievably simple. You've got your honey, which is here now. Well, in with the honey, rinse. Now once again, we've got a lot of recipes where they put Guinness in. As we would downstairs, we would put Guinness and treacle into it. But in this recipe here, I sort of want to put on wheat. I don't want any added colours. It's just a very natural wheat. Bicarbonate of soda goes in. Just let me tidy up here. Brilliant. Salt. Salt goes in. So 2 tiny pinches. Once again, as you're doing this, you have to multitask. So we've got our chowder in there. And you're going to leave this here. But what I want to do is just transfer this into another pot, because I don't want this to catch, because you can see the bottom there's a little bit of tinge to it, so I don't want that there. So we'll just put that in like so. We'll just cook it out nice and slow. Bring it right the whole way down. Brilliant. So that's looking good. Brilliant. So in there we have got our all our flour in there. And we've got our bicarb, our salt, our honey. Next thing is our buttermilk goes in. In with the buttermilk. And all you're going to do is stir. Very, very simple, just like so. Stir it in, it'll all start coming together. So there you have it there. So it's like this consistency here. Very, we wouldn't say too thick, but we'll start like that in a second. So all that there's in there, brilliant. Next thing we've got our wee muffin trays. I'm just going to spread, you can butter them, you can oil them, and choose to spread. Downstairs, and that goes, just put it like that there. And it goes, brilliant, job done. Now we're really ready to go. And the one thing I nearly forgot to put in was our butter. So once again, you've got your flour in there, you've got your bicarb in there, you've got your honey in there, you've got your salt in there, you've got your buttermilk in there, and then just the last thing is goes in is your butter. And one of the benefits of the island, brilliant meat, brilliant dairy, brilliant seafood, you know, and no matter what anybody says, you look at Belfast, you look at the quality of all the restaurants and entertainment you have in the city, we are sporting, like sport. So don't forget to put that there done. And all I'm going to do now is put them into the mold. So into the mold it goes. Pop one in, two. These are going to rise nicely. So all this wheat mix will go into these here. So you're going to get 12 lovely, you know, wheaten buns, should I say, coming out of it. Absolutely spot on. You know, done. Really good. Look in the part. Brilliant. You know, once again, if you want to, you can certainly, it sounds a bit weird, you can certainly put a really a mature cheddar in this. You mean, if you want to, a lovely mature cheddar, if you wanted to, you could put oats on top of it, and then just toast it with the oats on top of it. And once again, if you like it sweeter, you can add a bit more honey to it. If you don't like it sweeter, just drop the honey out. Okay? You know, that's the thing there. Just take that away. Brilliant. Actually, white. Okay, so there's our wheat ready to go, and it goes into the oven. Brilliant. That one's in there. Now they're gonna, they won't take long, overly long to do so. So just get it right there.
12 minutes, we ready?
Yep, thank you. So, our chowder's now working there nicely. Look in the part. And yeah, that's beautiful. So you can see the colours now coming through. And then we've got our capers. I'm just going to add the capers in with our capers. And we're just going to work that nicely. So just once again, the whole process is looking really good. I'm just going to get a wee tiny bit more pepper into this here. 2 seconds. Brilliant. And it goes. There we have it. Brilliant. Just to bring it back a wee bit. So once again, that's it. So there we are. So over the past few days, we've done different fish. We've said about the cod and all the rest of it. The majority of the time in our restaurants, especially downstairs on James Street, we would then put in we put salmon in there, we would put cod in there, we would put smoked haddock in there, a little bit of smoked fish, coley, ling. So it's a real good mixture. And when it comes to the shellfish, if you're going to put shellfish into it, it would be mussels or clams. They're the ones we go to. Sometimes you'll see people put squid and stuff like that into it. I can't see the point. For me, it has to be a real delicate fish. You don't be tuning in anything, just very nicely breaks down. The key thing is what you don't want to do is overcook all your veg. So the veg just falls, or your potato just falls apart, that's all. You want a tiny bit of bite to it, and nothing more than that there. You don't want to work rock hard, you want the vegetables cooked, so you're getting the maximum flavour of them. And that means really important. So, and that goes in with the cream. In with the cream, and once again with that cream, all we're using is single cream, you know, whipping cream. That's spot on. So we've got that there going nicely. With our kelp, you know, and this is just, I just love this. But if you don't use kelp, there's a thing called, we use here called dulse. And dulse is like a dry seaweed also. And you can eat, it's just, we get it from the Irish company called the Irish Seaweed Company. And they get all their seaweed comes from Doon Island. So it is, and they do the Association of Great University. So it's a great strength of rock, that's where it comes from. And the difference is they pick it from the tips. They lean out of the boats and pick it from the tips. They don't go from the shore out. they come in from a boat in and then pick the tips of it off, so it just keeps on regenerating itself, and that's what makes it so fresh and beautiful. And with this one here, so this one here is from Northern Ireland, and the other stuff we use is actually we would use quite a lot, and we've been using seaweed for quite a long time in the restaurants, and it's just made just that lovely freshness that sea come into it. And also, like, you know, if you want to do like cucumber potatoes and put some kelp in the pot instead of using salt, just put some cucumber to the sea, take some lovely seaweed, give it a wee wash, put it in your pot, put your potatoes on top of it, and then just cook it with the seaweed in the pot, and the flavour is unbelievable. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a lovely way of cooking potatoes, you know, just new seasoned potatoes. So what I'm going to do is put the kelp in here, brilliant, and that goes beautiful. Right? And that there's going to cook beautifully like that there. Wonderful. Once again, that's just nicely cooking. Our seaweed's in there. I'm just going to get a wee bit of pepper. I'm going to start seasoning and start tasting it. So, in with the pepper. Once again, I'm using white pepper. A little bit of salt. So, once again, we'll come back that. We'll let this cook out now. And as I've said it every day, if the first thing you can taste is salt when you're eating food, it's over seasoned. Salt is there to bring the flavours out, and it's really important. Because some people just use way too much salt, especially some chefs use way too much salt. To me, you want the natural flavours coming through. So as you're going, your seasoning as you're going along. At the very beginning, we had the pancetta, which is slightly salty, so we'll get that cooking out. So we're maximising the flavour. I've added some salt in now. I've added some pepper in, and then later on, I'm going to add the lemon juice, and then I'm going to check it for seasoning, and then we'll adjust it there and then. Very simple. Starting to get there. You know, and once again, with the fish itself, I don't want to cook it too quickly. And once again, the fish is like a big chunk of cod. So a nice chunk of cod. So that'll be the first bit of fish to go on. And then the coulis, and I'll hold back to the side, that's a bit thinner. And then the prawns will go on at the same time as that there. Once again, it's not automatically throw all your fish in at one time, especially if you've got different cooking times. So I'm going to add the cod in. And that goes. I'm just going to stir it in gently. And once again, this here is the temperature in the pan is as low as it goes in this hall. So it's at number 1. So it's nice and low, perfect. Okay? So there's that there. It's going to cook. I'm going to cook this out probably for about a minute before I add anything else into it. Brilliant. Excellent. Great. That's doing the job there. And I'm going to actually add a little bit more top to it. Once again, I'm just running the knife through it. These are raw strands. We would serve this here with a linguine pasta. So it's your kelp and your lemons in long strips, and we would do it that way there. So you can see yourself how long that strip is. So it's nice and long like that there, one dish. And what we'll do is then serve that there with the fresh pasta, which we make ourselves, and then we'll do it with mustard sauce and a bit of halibut. Absolutely beautiful. So and that's one of the old dishes in James Street. So. And there you have it. So once again, and that's what Dave, head chef, he was one of his dishes, and it's absolutely amazing dish. So once again, in with the rest of our fish, and we're going to get that cooking, and then in with the prawns, as well. So we've got everything there beautifully working, but once again, as you notice, we're cooking nice and gently. We're not boiling them. We're trying to be really respectful of the fish, you know. Starting to sound like it goes. Right, okay. Into the lemon. Oh, this one here, right? Into the lemon. Oh god, a little bit of lemon. Right. Wonderful. Stir it in. Looking good. That's good. That's nice. Beautiful. Tiny bit more pepper into it. I think it needs any more salt. No, it doesn't need any more salt. You know. Right. So that's going to cook it there nicely. I just want to go over and check our bread.
Just under 5 minutes.
Pardon me?
Just under 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. So being realistic with the fish. So here we go. Spoon there. So once again, with the chowder, you can see now we're just going to let the chowder out. That's everything cooked. And once again, everybody's ready to have cooked the fish, how to cook the fish. As I said, about people who cook it, have to take the fish ready. And I said, I'm probably ready about a minute ago. When I told you to take it off. So to me, the whole thing is, especially when it comes to fish,
It's perfect if it's slightly opaque in the centre. And it's like even when we cook our monkfish, you put the monkfish out, you let it rest. And to me, it's one of those things, you know, fish, fresh fish is the most amazing thing in the world. And you mean, the more you eat, the better it is. Really, it's just absolutely beautiful. And once again, sustainable is the best way to eat it, of course. Just like some fish, I absolutely love. And there's also some very good quality farm fish, farm turbot and all the rest. Absolutely beautiful. You know, there we have it. So that's all coming together now. Brilliant. Now we have that there. Done. You can see now that's working beautifully there. Maybe there. Great. And when we look at these breads here, and we look at these breads in very, very quick here. So, I'm just going to pop them in for another minute and a half. Being realistic and helping ready to go. So at the moment now within Belfast, you know, it is like every city really in the world is, or should be, it is very, very quiet. We will come back, of course, but it's then how we're going to come back, how our restaurants going to develop themselves on, tourism and all the rest. But really the key thing is that I say that everybody in all our supply is looking after your small supplier, your local veg shop, your local butcher, your local fishmonger, because they're the basis of what I get, and I have to support them. So whenever we do get back to normal, we've got a good supply chain the whole way through. And that's where we're coming at the moment now. And it's the same with our wine suppliers and the same with the staff as well. You know, because everything's looking positive and we just keep on pushing on with it. So being realistic, that's really it. It should be us there now. Just going to make that a little second. And we're going to take this out. Brilliant. Let's get a wee knife here. I'm just going to gently take this out here. I don't know, burn the hands myself. So you can see the wee muffin there. Roasted hot. Put it on a knife. It's a lovely brown, tiny, beautiful muffin. I'm just going to break it in half. Steam coming off it. But it's unbelievably light. It just falls apart in your hand. And like, how long did that take to cook? So if you've got all this here weighed out the night before, or even if you want to, you can get all the flour weighed out and put it in an airtight container and put it in your dry store, into your cupboard. And every time you're going to make it, all you use your buttermilk, add your bypowder and a bit of butter and a bit of seasoning, and off you go. And you can see how quick that was to make fresh wheaten bread. And it's just the flavour, it's unbelievable. You know, you can serve a little bit of latte eel, a bit of smoked salmon, chowder, off you go. It's absolutely beautiful. And even if you get it stale, and it's like if you haven't eaten it up, then just crumb it down. And then you can use it up for breading stuff, or whatever, breaded fish, or you can do like a breaded chicken with the wheat and oats. It's beautiful. Just spread it over, like slightly canny, a bit of butter, and then do it that way there. But once again, zero wastage, but they really are beautiful. So be realistic, you should all be eating on the day anyhow. And don't try to make too much at the same time. For long that too, make it every day. So there we have it. Very, very simple, you know. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Just that wee bit of sweetness coming through. And it's absolutely gorgeous. And as I said earlier on there, even if you wanted to, you could add some dulse and some seaweed into it as well. It'd be absolutely beautiful. So thank you very much. Thank you.